Now I got a gun in my head, right? It's like,
No vests.
All right, welcome to episode 7 of No Vets Podcast. Jay, how are we doing tonight, man?
doing well per usual. You know, just enjoying this nice weather. You know, I can never complain. It's about 70 degrees and sunny all day today. I don't
That's
know what else to say.
that's good stuff. I was
You
enjoying the
just came
weather
from some. Yeah, I was gonna say you came from some good
in
weather
Florida. I
yourself.
know we fixed the lighting, so I mean, if you're listening on Spotify, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can probably tell I got a little bit of sun. No Vest took over Florida from Wednesday to Sunday. It was more of a marketing trip. It was more of a business trip, Jay.
R&D, they
It
call
was an
that
R&D.
research and development.
And we got a lot of good feedback. People kind of giving us what they want to see from the episodes. But I got to tell you, we have more no-vesters out there. Some closet no-vesters is what I'll call them. You know, they maybe don't go around preaching no-vest, but, you know, behind closed doors, they're tuning in, and they're hanging on every word, Jay.
Yeah, they get it. You know, this, like I said before, this stuff kind of hits close to home to some people. And, you know, we don't mean to really ruffle any feathers, but, you know, we're here to let people know that you can be proud, you know, wearing that no vest
That
across your chest.
hashtag no-vest.
Yeah, it's proud. So let us know if you're actually trying to physically support, but, you know, all the technical support, you know what I'm saying, online, the likes, the feedback, the
And
DMs, we love it all.
And I really do appreciate all the positive stuff that we've been hearing because, Jay, as you know, this is almost like a second job. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to come out every week, bring the energy, bring the laughs, bring the jokes. I mean, I wouldn't even say pressure, but, you know, there's some Tuesdays or Wednesdays when we're recording where, you know, maybe I just want to chill out. You know, it's been a long week with work, working out, whatever. But we got to bring the energy. I mean, the no-vesters, they want it week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, when we signed up for this, you know, quote, whatever, I'm putting the quotes on that signed up. But when you reached out and you said, you know, we're going to do this, the one thing I said was we got to be consistent. You know, once we get the ball rolling, we're not going to stop. So we come every week and we're putting in that work, and a lot goes into it. You know, you guys see the 40 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever it is, that we put out, but it's a lot more than that. And I got to shout out again to our producer, man. He goes hard in the paint.
He absolutely does. But, Jay, when I was in Florida doing my R&D, it came up, you know, obviously I had made a bold claim, I think it was on episode 4 or 5, that Oshkosh had more attractive females than Miami.
An absurd claim, an absolutely absurd claim.
Absurd
But
claim.
you went to do your research. So what did you come back with?
The answer is Oshkosh, and it's really not even close, Jay. I mean, it's almost a blowout. It's like, you know, what Oral Roberts did to OSU, you know, in round 1 of the tournament.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been down to the Miami region in a long time. In fact, the last time I was there, I would almost say too young to really experience the true nature of the city. So I can't speak on it firsthand, but if you're going to say it, I mean, I'm not going to lie. You got a lot of people coming for your head on Twitter about these takes that you're coming up with. So if you're going to stand on this, we'll see what the people have to say, but I'm sure you're going to get a lot of disagreements.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for disagreements. I know a lot of people didn't like my Loyola Chicago take, but I still think that they're not looking at the per capita. And also
Dayton, you're referring to Dayton. Your mind's on March Madness.
Excuse me, yeah, it is. I'm referring to Dayton, Ohio, but I also maybe got to throw in FGCU after this last weekend. You know, they might be getting some love in the 2-hole.
I am familiar with FGCU, and I can vouch. I know some prospects from that region, and yeah, there's some good talent coming out of FGCU.
But Jay, one of the things I want to get into here, our first topic of episode 7, is something that I noticed is it just kind of came up naturally, and I want to ask you this question: is where do we draw the line on too much PDA or maybe not enough? So like maybe holding hands like when you're walking, just the two of you. Yeah, I mean that's all good. You got to show some love, right? But
Right.
where do we draw that line? Like if you're at a dinner party and you're touching each other's thighs and you're making people, maybe a little uncomfortable. Jay, where are we going with this, Jay?
Yeah, I agree. It can definitely make others uncomfortable. I think there is a very thin line. And most times, not, I won't say any, but I think anything over the minimum, like you said, of like the holding hands is usually a little too much. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you kind of know where things are headed, and
But
maybe they should just uh
no.
excuse themselves, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems as if that's where their mind is. I just think and also I think it is a bit of an attention thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Usually, I won't say it's always one sided, but whoever is initiating, um, the intimacy, they usually want people to see. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? They're
yeah.
they're looking for that attention, and I just think that's where the true issue lies. It's just not really necessary, I
But
think.
Jay, I don't even know if I believe you here because, I remember
You don't
back.
believe me?
Well, I want to dig a little deeper into Jay Fish here, and
Okay.
I hear you making these claims now, but I remember back in high school, you were one of those guys who in between third and fourth hour walking his girl through the hallway, and then you got to give the kiss right outside the
Oof.
door. And I remember
Yeah,
seeing
you're
that, and
right.
Jay
You're
was
right.
one of those guys who would walk, in between fifth and sixth period. Maybe he's got study hall, their
Yeah.
classes lined up, and is that Jay? I mean, where are we going with that? Where's Jay Fish going with that?
I mean, that was then. That was back in my young shooter days. The kid was a young shooter. You can't blame him, I guess. But you know what? I think it's everything that I said. I think it was a bit of an attention seeking thing. I
Yeah,
think, we can be honest. I think it was a bit of a, look at me type move,
yeah.
which, I'm not, yeah, I can admit when I was wrong. It probably wasn't a good look. I'm not saying it was a good look.
But
I just said it wasn't.
but
But
for me, the
but
the
you believe me that the take is it's not a good look though. Would
no.
you agree?
Well, here's where
But where are you going with this? Where are
where
you
am I
going?
going with this?
Throwing it back.
Well, I think the waters get a little murky, Jay, when you're starting to show PDA, but you're not dating. So like I've had instances where like I go on a walk by the lakefront or whatever, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, something happens and now we're locked in holding hands, and it's like I have, Otchi-Gen has a 24-second shot clock. You have
Yeah.
24 seconds to let go of my hand, or maybe I rip it away. Not viciously, but like, maybe I reach for something in my pocket. Oh, fake phone call, maybe a piece of gum, whatever.
So you're
But
strict. You're
but
strict on
I'm
that.
very strict on that because I worry about, okay, I'm gonna run into, maybe my grandma's walking on the lakefront that day. I don't know her schedule, or maybe you get caught. You get caught. See, this all goes back to that first date Otchi-Gen policy where I take the same person. Not the same person. I take the first
You
date
go to the same place.
to the same spot. Yeah, it's because part of that reason is it's a spot that I know. Achi's not gonna run into a bunch of people I know, which is why people
Right.
reached out to me. They wanted to know, Jack, what's the spot, and I did not, I did not let the no
You can't
besters know.
disclose that.
No, because
You
I don't
can't
want
give
to.
out the
I don't
sauce.
want to see you there. So for me, that's not really PDA. Like I guess it is like holding hands, but to me, Jay, that's where the waters get murky.
You're right. You're right, especially because you don't want to give off the wrong message, and it's similar to your scenario last or a few weeks ago. These weeks fly by, but where you maybe set the wrong type of vibe um, when you were hanging out with a friend. So you don't want to give off. You don't want them to then you have their, or maybe it's not your friend, but now their friend walks past,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is Achi, this is my buddy, this is Jack," and you guys are holding hands. Now that friend walks away with a different kind of assumption of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it just gives off the wrong vibe, and now it just implants ideas in people that maybe you're not looking
But
for. So I agree,
I
you want to
think
be careful in that.
there's a time and there's a place for it, right? So like if you're
Sure.
gonna go to like a on like a romantic dinner or whatever, yeah, you can. But when you're with like friends or people you have not met yet, it's
Right.
your first time meeting a group of people. Do not, especially at dinner when other people are eating, you can't be holding hands. That's no hand holding
Yeah.
time, Jay, because that's Jack wants to shove a big piece of turkey. I don't know why I said turkey, but I want to eat a big meal, and I do not need to look over and see that whole thing happening. Achi might lose his appetite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that turkey is just gonna go to waste at that point.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't want to see that.
So Jay, I want to bring up a new segment. I think that was a good little PDA topic we had. I hope our
Sure.
listeners, are now educated kind of on that. I think that'll come up more as we continue to get deeper into these episodes. But I want to jump right into red flag of the week because honestly, Jay, I think in terms of my week, when I get to discuss my red flag of the week, it might be the high of my week. And I know what people are thinking.
Yeah.
Your weeks are pretty boring, and they're really not
Right.
that boring. But I really enjoy coming up with these red flags and then sharing them with the Novesters. So Jay, you went first last week, so I think it's my time to go first. So
Only
I'll just
fair.
go ahead. And my red flag of the week, and this is gender neutral, guy or girl,
We should
is
keep it that way.
when they say, they lead with, do you listen, to EDA or electric,
ED, EDM.
dubstep, EDM,
Yeah.
yeah, not
Yeah.
EDA.
Yeah.
I got
Okay.
my
Okay.
mind's still on
I know you.
PDA, My mind is still on
Yeah, you're
PDA.
jumbled. I get you though. That is a good one. Go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit,
So
because I'm sure you've had some
yeah,
experience.
they're like, do you listen to EDM? Do you listen to like, techno music? Do you go to Electric Forest? Now I know what some of you guys are thinking. Some of you Novesters maybe listen to EDM or the dubstep, and you're thinking, Achi, why is this a red flag? But we know we've been on the pages, and you go to the fifth or sixth picture, and it's a rave. It's like a rave picture.
Right.
They're at the electric forest, or at some rave out in the middle of the woods. And I
Yeah.
think, Jay, the waters are extra murky there. If you see
Yeah.
the bandana, if the bandana comes out and you
Right.
see you see the backpack, and you see like the water bottle thing that comes out the side. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The camelback.
The
Yeah.
camelback with like the straw coming out of it, or the tube,
Yeah.
the suck tube. Jay, the water's there. I think that there's absolutely no lifeguard on duty there. I think you have to be very cautious. Proceed with caution.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say this. I mean, I just like to like play out scenarios in my head. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say somebody maybe overlooks this and they maybe get interested in EDM. I'm just giving you guys the nightmare story. This didn't happen to me. This is hypothetical. She gets you into EDM. Next thing you know, like what'd you say, Electric Forest? You're in Electric Forest. You're in the woods somewhere. You're lost. You're looking for your girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. Next thing you know, you find them in like some tent, with like a pacifier. They're like sweating with like six other people in this like small tent. The things that go on at these Electric Forest carnival, what do they call it,
Like
the
raves.
it gets out of hand, and it can go left really quick. I've seen it happen to some close friends, and I just wouldn't want it to happen to any loyal Novester. So this is a definite red flag. Beware of the EDM people.
Well,
But
yeah.
they're good people. There's a lot of good people in that scene. It can go left.
No,
Just
it
saying.
absolutely can. And to those people that do listen to that type of music, maybe that isn't a red flag for you. But when you see the bandana come out and you see, you see that action, I think you really gotta proceed with caution, especially when they lead with it. Now, it's one thing if they're like, "Oh, I
Right.
listen to that music when I work out; it gets me going, whatever."
Sure.
But when you start playing that stuff, like at cookouts or you start playing that in the car on a drive, that's
You
Jay. The
you make
waters
a
get
good
murky.
point. There's a time and a place. So, like, if they go to that, once every couple years or something, and they like to go crazy, that's maybe not the worst. But like you said, if they lead with that, if that's like square A of their personality, proceed with
I
caution, like
think
you
you
said.
guys know what I'm talking about. Jay, let's get into your red flag of the week.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say about the red flags as we, do these continuously, red flags, it can be spread, you could find a red flag at many different times of a relationship. It could be upon first meeting. This could come, maybe after you've dated a little bit. Or this could come after maybe you move in with this person. You know what I'm saying? The red flags pop up at different times. You need to catch them. At any time, if this comes up, you need to be aware.
Big build
The
up
the
here.
the astrology people, the if they ever ask you what time you were born, or like specifically the time,
Yeah.
not just the date and everything like that, just, you know what I'm saying, chalk it up. I think it's just a bad, you've been dealt a bad hand, you might as well fold. The astrology people, because there's no telling them whatever your rationale is, it's never going to be enough as long as it doesn't align with the
With
stars. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And that's just
No,
insane.
that's
It's
absolutely
absolutely
it's
insane.
absolutely insane. And in one time, I actually was this was upon first meeting that this came up. I was
Right.
asked by a chick, and she said, when were you born? And I said July, and I forgot like what the astrology was, but
Right.
she said I was the same as her ex boyfriend, and she was like, "Let me guess," and she started like throwing out like all these personality traits that she thought I had, and they were like super general. It's like a fortune cookie.
Yeah.
It's
They
like,
could they could apply to anyone.
yeah, like
The stuff that
let me
they read
guess.
is
Let
ridiculous.
me guess. You're a competitive person. Like, yeah, no shit.
You got like a 50-50 shot. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like
more than
every
that.
other person is competitive.
Or yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I think that's just an absolute no go. If they bring that,
Right.
and here's the scary part, Jay. This is a scary part. There's more people that are into that shit than you would like to believe. Like, it's
Oh,
not
it's
just like
so
we're
big.
not we're. I think my red flag of the week was more of like a narrow group.
Yeah, it's very niche. Very niche.
Very niche market there. But Jay, yours is way bigger than it really should be.
Yeah, I'm wiping out probably like 75% of people's draft boards. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to do it, but it's for the better because those people, they just, I'm not kidding. If the book or and this, man, it goes a little deeper. I'm not knowledged. What's the word? I don't know. I don't know about this specific subculture within the astrology, but the tarot cards, I'm not familiar with those, but I
What
know
the
that
hell is
those
a tarot
hold.
card? Can you
We're
explain?
gonna have to maybe bring someone on that knows about these. But I know that they're a big thing within the astrology. They're similar to the stars in that, but basically, some chick is pulling cards out of a deck and tells you, what you should
See,
do. I
like,
guess
where do we
I have
draw the
no idea.
line? See, where do we draw the line between astrology and like that's borderline witchcraft? Like that.
I kind of put it under all that umbrella. It's very red. All red flags pop up everywhere in all of that.
I totally agree, Jay. I love your
Yeah,
red flag there. I think that's a big portion of people out there. And
yeah.
that's totally. If someone asks you what time you were born, you gotta get the hell out.
Don't even respond. Literally, just lose their number. That I'm being harsh, but I'm serious, man. Like, there's no answer that you give them that'll, you know what I'm saying, please them. It's all depends on the stars, man. Good luck.
Yeah, I completely agree. So Jay, when I was in Florida, I had someone ask me, you know, according to Novest, there's really nothing acceptable to post on social media. Like I mentioned the charcuterie boards and like the apple picking and the pumpkin picking and how we're bored with the same posts over and over again. And someone asked me, they just said, what do you even post? No vest is what's their policy on on this, Jake? Can you answer that?
When I'm scrolling through the feed, you know what I'm saying? What am I looking for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not always looking for, like you said, the same thing over and over again. You follow enough accounts, you're gonna see 10 of the same pictures sometimes in a row. Um, and so I guess the easy answer is yeah, post whatever you want, but I guess don't just do something because you've seen someone else do it before. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I've seen a lot of people take a picture at this spot. Let's go there. I guess I have a lot more don'ts than I have do because like it's easy. You can post whatever you want, but there's just some things that it's just like, okay, we've seen the you know what I'm saying? We've seen these pictures enough. Do we
So
really need another pumpkin patch picture?
yeah,
You did
no,
that last.
you did it at the same time last year, Jay. One of the other things that got brought up was Achi, where do you come up with these stories? Because I've told quite a few. I've got the pilot's vision at this point, the homeless man stories, the driving stories. People said, does this really happen? And the answer is obviously yes. And I think that these kind of stories, I don't know if they happen to everyone, but a lot of these stories do happen to a lot of people. But the problem is I think the younger generations with their iPhones, they're not good storytellers. So they bring out their phone to tell a story. Now, people, I want to be very clear on this if you're listening. If you are telling a story and you bring out your phone, you're not good at telling stories.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't enhance the story as much as you would like to think it does. It actually just detracts from it. Like, oh, look at this. And that's part of the problem now is anyone can be a good storyteller. All you gotta do is just pull out your iPhone, click boom, and you're basically telling a story. You're gonna go post it on your social media, whatever. But really, I think the storytelling is almost like a lost art. I think
Yeah.
Jay, you got some storytelling qualities, but one of the things is that when someone pulls out their phone and it's a shitty video that they're showing you, like it's one of those like, oh, like check out. I have so many friends that go, oh, check out this video, and it's like a minute and a half to 2 minute long video, and there's no like lead up to the video. You know what I'm saying? We weren't talking
Right.
about something prior. It's like, yo, check out this funny video, and then they show it to you. Like what do you do with that, Jay?
Yeah, that's tough. And I really like what you're saying. A lot of people will say, "Oh, a picture is worth 1,000 words" or whatever. And honestly, I kind of sway the other way. I think pictures and videos never really do justice uh, over the real experience. Like when people are at like concerts, like recording it, or like or just anything really, like yeah, when they just are quick to just pull out and record it rather than like, I feel like you lose half of what actually happened when you're just trying to look through the lens of your phone. You know what I'm saying? So
Most
I,
definitely.
I really feel what you're saying. And yeah, it is with the accessibility. When no one ever said like, or no, I'm sorry, it's been a while, it's been forever since people didn't have a camera in their pocket.
Yeah.
A lot of think of how much stuff went uncaptured just because no one really carried around cameras with them. Now everyone has a high def 4K camera in their pocket.
Now
It's
people
unfair.
now the problem is people just record shit, like there's a special place in hell for the people that go to like a Summerfest concert and record the entire thing on their Snap story or their Instagram story. Like, I want to know, do people think that like people turn the volume on or like, wow, like look,
Oh,
now
it's almost like I'm at the show. It's like,
like
no, not at all.
yeah,
Yeah, people were like, you
like
asked what
wow, I'm
people is
shocked that
acceptable.
I'm
That's not
shocked
acceptable. The
I'm shocked
concert,
T Pain
not
is
acceptable.
playing, "Buy You a Drink," like his number one song. Like, I'm shocked that he's playing it. So you need to put it on your camera, record the whole thing, and then upload it,
Right.
as if I don't know that he sings that song.
Right, that's such a moment that needs to be
So,
captured.
you're like
Never.
you're like 45 rows deep. Like, did they not think that we could just YouTube like a better, like a professional quality
Right.
stream of the show?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
the concert is bad. That's not good.
Or people at youth basketball games, or like recording their kids playing. Like, it's like, do you think that like NFL or college coaches are gonna be like, wow, like look at this fifth grade kid, like, oh my god, he's so good.
Yeah, unless you're like the next Joe Thomas, like could probably do without the film. I mean, I guess it's nice for the memories, but yeah, I mean, you're not really like I said, you're missing half of the game. You're fumbling with the camera and whatnot. You don't even know what's going on.
And as long as we're on this little, you know, technology segment, whatever, um, I want to just jump into something completely different that I was gonna not go into, but um, this kind of came up this last week. I have a guy who I work with, and we're in like a group, a Snapchat group, right? And there's
Okay.
a few people from different branches, like some cool guys that we met at a conference, and we started a Snap group. And the Snapchat group started as just like us drinking during the week that we were at this business trip. Like people sending in funny videos, doing stupid shit, whatever. And then then there's always those people that don't let the group die off. You know what I'm saying? Like weeks later, they're
Yeah.
still sending in like, oh, like look, I'm at a bar, and it's all good fun. You click on it when you're super bored. But this last week, obviously, I was in Florida, and there's this guy who's in this Snap group, and he's just the worst guy in the world is how I would describe him. Like he's seriously the worst. Like he has like the Rock tattoo on his chest, and he's got like a buzz cut, and he's in really good shape, but he's just the worst guy in the world. And um like he's like he was wearing tank tops. Like it was like 60 degrees in Ohio, and we're just like meeting up to play cards, and he would like wear like tank tops, to come play cards. Like, oh my god, dude, you're the worst kind of guy out there. But anyway, he starts sending in like Snapchats into this group of like him drinking Ciroc and like partying in Miami. Like, whoa, like shit's crazy out here, bro. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm getting fucked up. I'm on vacation. And then like a couple of my coworkers were Snapchatting me, so I was like, oh, I'm in, just so I'm in vacation. I'm in Miami, and they thought we were together, and I legit had to like text these guys like, we are absolutely not together. We would never be together. This guy's the worst. And I think it's inappropriate to like send like that weird shit into like your coworkers. Like, where do we draw the line with coworkers? So one of my cousins, he was saying during quarantine. I know I'm going off on a little bit. It's basically Otchi-Gen.
Go
It's Otchi-Gen, no vest story time. You're in the middle of it. You're in the
ISO.
It happens every week. You're in the middle of story time right now, baby. And so my cousin was telling me that during coronavirus, that every Friday a guy from work would send out a meeting invite on like Microsoft Teams or Zoom or whatever to have a happy hour with his coworkers that no one wanted to do, because you're eating up people's weekend. You scheduled it from 5 p.m. on Fridays to 6 p.m. And I was mind blown. Like, who would possibly do that? And there's this like coworker friend balance, and you really have to balance it, unless you hang out with this coworker as a friend like consistently. Then you can break that barrier where it's like, all right,
Yeah.
like we're not gonna like the shit that happens outside of work isn't gonna bring it's not gonna be brought in. But this dude just looked like the world's biggest idiot, just partying up in Miami, like sending in like Ciroc chugs into groups with like 40-year-old guys. It's like, dude,
Big guy.
what are you doing, man? Like what the hell?
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any coworkers on social media, or I don't even really have any of their numbers. I think there's a very fine line. I like, as soon as I'm out of there, if I'm off the premises, I don't even want to think about you. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I think, but like at work, yeah, like we're cool. I see at the coffee machine or whatever, like we'll chop it up. We're good, we're guys, but when we leave, and now there is obviously exceptions to the rule. Now, like if you had a prior friendship, maybe coming into the job, like maybe they got you the job, or they just happened to work there as well, something like that, or maybe like you said, you've built it up to where now you're hanging out past them. But even then, it's like once you leave, it's like I don't really want to talk about work when I'm not at work. I think it's like, those people, they don't even really exist as like anything besides the work setting in my mind.
And one of the things I think it's crucial for all of my listeners to know is that if you want to be like professional, like keep that stuff on LinkedIn. But the moment the waters get murky, Jay, is when you start like promoting your work on like Instagram or Facebook or all that other stuff. It's like even Snapchat, like it's like, okay, maybe, you know, a little bit, whatever, it's fine. But I don't know. I think the waters get murky when you start seeing like Facebook promotions of like, because then it's like, are you putting this out there, or is your company making you post this shit on your personal account? Because that's even weirder. Like I don't even want to get into that. So this brings up a whole nother Otchi-Gen story, because you know it's story time again, and you know I was in Florida. This was actually a few times ago. This was like 3 years ago. I was walking to the pool and I get a call. They go, "Are you Jack Mihalik?" And I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Well, you've been recommended for a job." And I go, "Oh, really?" And they go, "Yeah." I'm not gonna throw out the girl's name. I almost just did. But she recommended you for this job, a girl we went to high school with. And I was like, "Really? What is it?" And they're like, "It's vector knifing." So they took all of her contacts from her phone. It's a pyramid scheme. And they called everyone to try. She basically had everyone in her phone get blasted with this bullshit call so that she could sell them knives. And then it's basically this pyramid scheme where if you're at the top, you can make a little bit of money. But everybody basically just tries to sell a shit ton of stuff to their family and friends, and it's a never-ending cycle of garbage.
Yeah, maybe pyramid schemes can come another episode. That's a red flag in itself. We won't give away free sauce until next week. But yeah, pyramid schemes, you definitely want to be careful. I don't know what to say. I don't. That's a shitty story. Are you saying she got hacked, or she willingly?
She willingly wrote down. So like upon the interview is what I was told, because I had to go deep into like some Reddit and some Google searches, because I was like,
Reddit. Okay.
I was like, did she really, advise that I could be a good employee for this company? So I never heard of them, so I looked him up, and the first thing that came up was like pyramid scheme. Then I'm like 10 pages deep on Google. I'm reading up. And like in the interview, they make you write down like 100 people in their phone number so you could potentially sell to. And what they do is they make you buy a crap ton of knives initially so you can drive down the price. And then basically people, I was reading up on it, and like, people end up with just garage fulls of knife sets that they can't sell anyone.
That sounds awful.
It's absolutely brutal, man. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I'm glad I'm not involved.
No, you absolutely don't want to get involved, but I think it's important for our no-vesters to know that there's a line that needs to be drawn when it comes to, Jay, you're basically an 8 to 5 guy is what it sounds like. You clock in, you clock out.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm not doing no extra
extracurricular.
I don't have the work hotline that you can blow me up on. No, none of that. If I'm not there, I don't exist in your guys' eyes. That's how I am right now.
Awesome. So I want to wrap it up. I don't even know really what to wrap it up with, but I think we got a big week coming next week. Rumor has it we may or may not have a guest on here. That's also one of the things I wanted to kind of end with was I think we're going to start potentially bringing on a little bit more guests. Maybe not as long as we had the first guest on for, but a lot of people reached out to me and said, you guys should continue bringing on guests for 10, 12, 15 minutes, whatever. I've had a lot of people reach out to me that want to be a guest. Use this platform because I think, Jay, I think you'll agree with me, this is not just podcast. This is eventually maybe going to take off into its own social media platform. It might be, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok and YouTube, and I think Novest platform might be fifth.
Yeah, Novest. I mean, I see a lot. I see it going in a lot of directions, and this is just the first snowball, if you will, and we're gonna roll it into a nice big old igloo after we build like a couple snowmen. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot in our future, but for the immediate future, yeah, check us out, Spotify, YouTube, and yeah, stay tuned. We may have a guest that's gonna give us some good insight on some things that not a lot of people can speak on. So we'll see what that is.
Absolutely. I think everyone who's listening will eventually have a Novest app on their phone. I think our
Yeah,
tech group is working on releasing an app onto the Apple Store. Novest is going absolutely global. I mean, we are, Jay. We're currently global. We're in multiple continents right now.
yeah, yeah. We
Um,
are international. We've ran the analytics, and we got people overseas. Up north in Canada and all that. We got listeners. So shout out to all the listeners worldwide. Novest worldwide, baby.
And if people, I think what we're thinking moving forward is our guests should have a red flag of the week themselves, something that just kind of.
Yeah,
I
something
think
they can bring to the
we're gonna
table.
keep that consistent with any guest that comes on. Talk about their red flag because I think everyone's got different ones. I mean, I got 10 stashed away, and I'm sure 10 more will come up by the end of next week.
Yeah, the more you're in the field, the more they come up. I mean, I'm sure you saw a couple of red flags, going off everywhere when you were down in Florida, dabbling in the scene there. So yeah, it's all in good fun, and then I'm glad people are interested. So we'll see where this takes us.
All right, we will be back same time next week. This is episode 7, No Vest Podcast, signing out.
Yes, sir.
No vest.